Hello everyone, back for a second installment of What's New in ProPresenter. We just did our first weekend, and so this is just a video to further clarify a couple of things that we thought were still a little unclear. Alright, we're going to start right over here. So if this is closed, you'll need to hit this drop down arrow here. Let me further clarify this. This library is everything that is in the PV library. Now, for example, in the chapel, they have a chapel library, and they have a Hispanic ministry library, and they have the Grove library. All three of those libraries pull from different things. In the control room here, we only have one library, so it's PV. This PV is where everything lives, and you can see last week I think it had like 4 things in it. When I did the last video, now it has, our library is already growing. When I deleted this computer and set up Pro7, our last library had 823 items in it. So this will grow exponentially as we go, but that's also why I started from scratch, because out of 823 things, surely there's a bunch of junk in there. All right, playlist. This is weekend things that are used during service. Over here, once again, you can see my mouse moving over here. We have our loop, announcement loop, and then countdown and helps you'll never click on. This is all stuff that's automated. So really all you need here is the countdown and the loops. All right. One thing of note, I want to go back and look at what's happening right here. So one issue we had this last weekend was the message. When we got to the end of this, the operator wanted to clear after this slide. So naturally, she jumped down here and clicked this. But this right here changed some things. So after we were done with this slide, she hit this, it cleared. She went to hit this, nothing showed up on the screens, because this changes the output. So just be careful when you're clicking on things, especially like up here. You'll notice this does a lot of things. Changes the template, changes the this is a go to next, that doesn't matter, changes where it's being sent, changes some other things, sent in 5 seconds to this. This changes some things, turns on and off some switcher buttons, changes how it's sent to the screens, so that when we click this, it does what it should. So there we go. So just be cautious. Like if you're in doubt, you can ask. This X is a clear all button. But then you start adding other things, and it starts getting complicated quick. So when in doubt of what you're doing clearing wise, I would say use this. This is your clear all button here, and that clears everything from backgrounds to props to countdowns. That clear all clears it all. If you're just on this, and right now you can see anything that's red here is what's live. We only have one thing right now, is this slide. So you could also click that slide, that'll clear the slide. Now you'll see we got a background and a slide that are live. So yeah, the clear all button is probably your safest bet rather than clicking on a slide for clear. All right, so I hope that makes a little more sense here as far as our playlist, announcement loop, and then weekend slide here. One more thing I want to touch on real quick is the video feature. It used to be down here, like below, you would see like the countdown timers and all that kind of stuff. That's now moved over here. So we got some nifty little things here. This is your backgrounds. This is announce loops and stuff, and this is audio. We probably won't use these very often. But this background video, you've now got to go back 15 seconds. This is where your play pause will be, forward 15 seconds, and this nifty little handy thing here jumps 30 seconds from the end. So when Brian is saying, hey, let's scrub this forward to 20 seconds, so that the band can practice that transition. Just use this nifty little feature here. You don't have to grab this anymore and run it. So I'll show you what happens here. All right, you can see it's going to advance in this amount of time. It's also counting down here. So we're going to jump forward 15 seconds. This is where your play pause is right here. And then we can jump 30 seconds to the end. So nifty little new feature here. All right. One thing of note, when we are running this in rehearsal, this advanced feature here is based on a clock, 174 seconds. If we jump forward to 30 seconds, when it reaches the end, it's not automatically going to go to this because it's waiting for 174 seconds to move forward. So if we're doing this in rehearsal and Brian wants to jump to 30 seconds from the end, and then when we get to the end, you'll see here nothing will happen. One, because I turned off the advance, but we didn't go 174 seconds. We went like 30 seconds. So then you jump down here and you do this. And, that messes up all your outputs. You have to click this one. It'll automatically go to this one, and then you can start your song. That's just for during rehearsal. But but just a little side note there. This 174.5, 0.5, those are all timers that are going to the next slide in that amount of time. All right, now let's talk about the Stream Deck real quick. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that in a different video. Thank you.